Welcome to the Talking Friars pregame show. Padres and the Giants tonight. 6:40 is the first pitch. Welcome on in. I'm Ben Fad, your host. Last night sucked, right? No runs. The day after scoring no runs again. Kind of tired of this trend, right? They haven't scored in, I think, 23 innings. That obviously needs to improve. They got the right guy on the mound tonight, just like they had the right guy on the mound last night. Blake Snell pitched great, gave up one run. Well, I don't want to say great because he did get in some jams, but in terms of the box score, in terms of the runs that he allowed, he pitched great, gave one run. And then Joe tonight, he hasn't pitched great in his last few starts. His ERA is still only at 3, though. That just shows how great he was at the beginning of the season. I have confidence that he'll pitch better today. I was just on John and Jim on Extra, and they were asking me about Joe Musgrove's struggles and all that, and I was, you know, I'm a fan of Joe, but I wasn't going at it from like a biased point of view. I pretty much said I'm not that concerned about him because he knows his problem, which was the inconsistent delivery. And he said after his last start that he's going to work on that before today's start with Ruben Niebla. At least he was going to in between starts. So I think if I'm going to take him at his word, he worked on that. And the delivery, if it's not totally fixed, it's at least improved. And it's not like the Giants are this world beater lineup. They scored one run yesterday. They had the bases loaded, and they got one run only out of it. I know Blake pitched well. They had in the first inning, it was, I think, first and third? I want to say no outs. Blake struck out all three guys. And so, like, Musgrove can get in and out of jams. Snell showed that last night. And so I'm confident that Musgrove can pitch better today. It's just going to be, obviously, a matter of if the offense is going to show up, right? That's been the question for the last 6 games. 5? No, not 6. 5 games? They've lost 5 games in a row. Maybe like 4 games because that one game that they lost, I think on that day game, they scored some runs there. But over the weekend, they scored 4 runs in that series. That's not good enough. The Dodgers scored 20, right? Yesterday, obviously, scoring no runs. I know that play, like, some people would argue that Kim was safe. Some would argue that he was out. I think that he was out because we saw that one angle, at least when I got home, because I was at the game. I'm at the game today again. That angle, or the angles they were showing at Petco on the Jumbotron, the fans didn't see the angle, I guess, that they showed on TV that showed that Kim was out. And so everyone was mad about the call because all they saw was Drury being safe. But I think he was out. Anyway, even if he was safe, that game would have only been tied. And, Crony's been struggling. And you could say that whole situation, if the game was tied there, it would have been 1 out instead of 2 outs. And Cronenworth's fly out, maybe that would have scored a run. I don't know about that, to be honest. But, my point is, I wasn't that confident that the team was going to come back anyway and go win that game 2-1 or whatever it would have been. Even if that game was tied there. And so that's the big, I guess, question right now. The big worry is the offense and how many runs are they going to score. I'm not worried long-term about this team, but right now, of course, you're worried about them because we've seen the last, 5 games that they've lost. The last, this past weekend, yesterday, they haven't scored a run in, it's been 23 straight innings without a run, so that's the worry right now. It's going to be pretty much the same lineup. Grisham is starting today in center field because there's a righty on the mound. So they're having Myers not play, but Profar's leading off. Soto, Manny, Bell, Drury, Crony's batting 6, Kim, Grisham, Nola. Not Austin Nola. Jorge Alfaro. He exited yesterday's game with a little bit of a knee injury. He tried to tough it out, and then Nola came in the game, I believe, at the end of, I forget what inning. It might have been the 7th inning. But yeah, so Alfaro's not catching today. I don't know if that's something to be worried about. Maybe he's available off the bench. Maybe he's not. I haven't heard. You would have thought if the Padres were worried about it, they would have called up Camposano or Cam Gallagher, who they just acquired for Brent Rooker in that Kansas City Royals trade before the trade deadline. They didn't call anyone up, so you'd think that he'd be available in an emergency or something. Or maybe Will Myers is going to have to go catch. Who knows? But I would not be worried right now about the Alfaro injury just because the Padres haven't told us anything. I know that that's kind of dumb to maybe say because the Padres don't like to tell us anything about injuries, literally anything. I mean, just go look at the Tatis thing. Like, a fan saw him swinging in the batting cage, and the Padres didn't tell the media or didn't tell the fans that he was going to be swinging. You know, they're hesitant to say when he's coming back. I understand why, but like mid-August-ish, that doesn't tell us anything, you know? So, yeah, that's pretty much what we got tonight. 6:40, Musgrove against Alex Cobb. If you have any thoughts about last night's game, feel free to put them in the comments. If you want to support the channel, you can use the Super Chat button, which is down in the comments. You can use the Super Thanks button for regular videos. I already went over the lineup. My Padre pick tonight, I'm going to go with... Who should I go with? I haven't looked at the matchups because I don't have that in front of me because I usually have notes in front of me and stuff because when I'm not at the ballpark. I'll go with Soto. I know that's the easy pick, but I'll go with him today just because not many other guys are swinging the bat well in the lineup. Sure, I might only get like 2 chances for a hit to happen because he's going to walk a couple times. But hey, that's the risk you take, but that's pretty much who I got right now. That's the main choice, I think, to get a hit because this offense just isn't doing anything right now. You know, no runs in the last 2 games. So I'll go with Soto tonight. Again, Profar, Soto, Manny, Bell, Drury, Crony, Kim, Grisham, Nola is the lineup. So that leaves Myers on the bench. And then the bullpen situation, Hader and Martinez, they might be down tonight. If the Padres have a lead, maybe Hader comes in just because they need a win. They need a freaking win really, really bad. But Martinez would be down tonight, I would think. Everyone else should be available. So that's the good news. But obviously, what matters more is the offense scoring runs and then Joe Musgrove getting a quality start. And really, he might need to do more than a quality start based on the way the offense is performing or not performing right now, you know? He might need to, go 7 innings and give up no runs or 7 innings and 1 run if they can get 2 across the board tonight, you know? So what's more important right now before we even worry about the bullpen is can they have a lead for the back end of the bullpen to come in, you know? Darth Vader here says Juan Soto passed Ted Williams in career walks. Yep, he passed that on Sunday night in his last at-bat. I posted a clip of that on the Talking Friars Twitter at Talking Friars. I encourage you to give that a follow. I just gave away a couple tickets to tonight's game as well. So if you want, stay tuned for giveaways and all that on the Twitter. And if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel already, I encourage you to do so. That's daily Padres content. Hopefully I have an interview this week. We'll see about that. He's been really busy, so I'm not going to say his name, but hopefully we get an interview this week on the podcast, on the YouTube show. But if not, hopefully it happens next week. And then with Tatis, he doubled in his rehab assignment tonight, or his first at-bat. He still is playing. He was supposed to play center field tonight in Frisco. He's playing for the San Antonio Missions. But I guess it was raining or something there, so the outfield was wet, and so they didn't want to risk an injury, so they put him at shortstop, put him on the dirt tonight, which I'm fine with, whatever. He's not going to be ready, I don't think, for the Washington series, so I don't think that's a big of a deal. I don't think it's that big of a deal for Tatis to be playing short and not him play center. I know the plan was for him to play center field today, and so fans might be worried, oh, wait, does that delay his timeline or whatever? I don't think so, just because I don't think he was going to be ready anyway for the Washington series. I think Miami is probably the more likely time. And then his first home game back will probably be that Washington series at home on, I think, the 18th. I'm going to that game. I'm going to the 19th. I'm going to the 21st. So I'm going to 3 of those 4 games. So I'll get to hopefully see Tatis, Soto, Manny, the big 3 in the lineup for the first time together. That's going to be another electric atmosphere if Tatis does make his home season debut on the 18th. Probably going to be like that Soto debut last Wednesday. So that'll be fun. But that's pretty much the Tatis update. what's going on tonight. I mean, Alex Cobb is like a 4 ERA, but the way the Padres offense is going, he might look like Cy Young or Max Scherzer tonight. Who knows? We'll just have to see. But the beauty of baseball, it's another day, another game, and hopefully the offense forgets about what they've done the last 2 games, and they come out and just totally pounce on the Giants, totally pounce on Alex Cobb, score a few runs for Joe, give him that run support early, and then they ride, and the Padres can snap that 5-game losing streak. All right, so I think that's going to do it. Oh, wait, here's some comments. Christopher, we need Joe to really bounce back tonight, then hopefully our offense shows a glimmer of hope. Totally agree. I think that it would be great for Joe to have a 1-2-3 first, obviously, and then the offense score like 3 runs in the first inning. Joe gets comfortable and he goes like 7 innings and gives up like 1 run. And he, finds that consistent delivery. Sign me up for that. Yeah, Tatis is 1 for 1 today, like I just talked about. Doubled down the left field line. A lot of fans have quote tweeted my video of that, and they're like, yeah, bring him up. He's ready, because they're just seeing how bad this offense is. And they know, regardless of where Toddy plays, whether it's center, whether it's short, he's an upgrade from Kim or Grisham. He's an upgrade from Kim or Myers. He's an upgrade from anyone in this lineup beyond Manny and Soto, pretty much, And when he gets back, it needs to be Tatis, Soto, Manny, I would think, in the top 3. Get those 3 guys the most at-bats possible. Profar's kind of slid off a little bit as of late out of that leadoff spot in terms of like his production, like batting average wise. I saw that this morning and tweeted that out. I think he's like 2 for 20 in his last 20 at bats, so that's not great. But I would go Tatis, Soto, Manny, and then Bell, Drury, Crony, Profar, or maybe Profar in front of Crony, whatever the matchups are, because Profar is a switch hitter. And then finish it off with, who would it be? Kim if Tatis is playing center, or Grisham or Myers if Tatis is playing short. And then you have Nola or Alfaro there. You could have Alfaro be bumped up if you want that more of a power threat higher in the lineup. But yeah, that's how I would go. Any more questions? Any more comments? Oh, thoughts on the Manny effing Machado comment. I was talking about this with John and Jim on the radio earlier today. I was fine with it. I'm not going to attack Manny and be like, well, Manny effing Machado has to play better. He knows he has to play better. Every time he speaks with the media when things aren't going great, he's usually accountable. He says we have to play better, so I'm not going to get on him for that. I think he's just pissed off that they got swept by the team that they're trying to beat and the team that they know they're going to have to beat when all things are said and done, if they want to get to where they want to get to, which is a World Series. So I was fine with it. I like the confidence. I think if you're a leader on this team, I don't take that comment as being like arrogant or anything, or being like above the team. I just think it as him telling the fans, I'm confident. I think he should be confident because he is Manny effing Machado, and I like kind of like the message that it sends probably to the clubhouse. For anyone that heard that comment in the clubhouse, they're probably like, okay, our team leader is confident. You know what? He's right. He is Manny effing Machado. And we do have Juan effing Soto and Jake effing Cronenworth and Josh effing Bell and Brandon effing Drury and Tatis soon in this lineup. We're going to get those guys back. And this offense is going to roll. We're not going to do this the rest of the year. This isn't 2021 where, we didn't have as strong of a lineup. It's just not. And so things are going to turn around. I think they do. Yeah, they lost 5 in a row. But guess what? After this Giants series, guess who they play? They play the Nationals, the Marlins, the Nationals again, the Royals, the Guardians. Those are 5 series that they should win all 5 of those. And I think we're going to have a totally different viewpoint on this team, and we're going to be feeling a whole lot happier about this team come after those, 5 series than we do right now. And I know you could say, well, Ben, those 5 teams suck. They should win those games. We shouldn't feel any better after those 5 series because they couldn't beat the Dodgers. They struggled last night against the Giants, and who knows what happens tonight. I understand that, but all that matters is they make the postseason and they get hot going into the postseason. And that if they're hot, that White Sox and Giants series, those 2 last series of the season, and then going into the postseason, that's all I really care about. If they make the postseason, they make the postseason. That's what really matters, obviously. make the postseason. That's your number one goal, and then you go from there. Like, I'm not worried about, oh, well, they can't be the Dodgers right now. Well, they also not have Fernando. They have the rotation pitching like crap. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. You know, if they can set up the rotation well, and the rotation's pitching better than it did, or than it has been, these last few games, which I believe it will pitch better, then they're one of the best teams in baseball. Just like everyone on MLB Network and everyone's been talking about when they got Soto and Bellinger, like, this team's a force. Well, they're a force when they play good, and I think they will play good eventually. So I'm still confident in this team. Yeah, right now it's not looking great, but I'm still confident in this team. It's not like October. It's not like the playoffs are tomorrow. The playoffs are a little over a month and a half away, right? So it's not time to totally panic, you know. All right, I think that's going to do it. Talking Friars pregame show, Padres and the Giants tonight. I keep trying to say Padres-Rockies because that series was forever. But yeah, Padres and the Giants tonight, 6:40. Joe Musgrove on the mound. It's Joe Day. Hopefully he improves tonight. Or not improves. He improves from his last start. Hopefully he gets back to the guy that he's been pretty much this entire year. And the Padres can get a win. All right, see you guys later. I can't even talk right now. See you guys later. Go Pods, and I'll be back with the game reaction sometime after the game. All right.